All right. My live studio audience, please be prepared. We're gonna be all right. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Welcome to the Culture of You podcast. Oh my gosh, we in here today. We in here today where I have meaningful dialogue with some of my favorite people. The Culture of You is a transformational storytelling platform, and this podcast is one way we do this real work of sharing and archiving our stories. First, let's give it up for our partners. We're in Zora's house right now, so let's give it up for Zora's house. Yes, if you don't know about Zora's house, come learn. Everybody is welcome. If you want a tour, you can reach out to me directly. I'm on the board. All right, so we also have the Purple Door Cafe in emeritus status, but let's give it up for the Purple Door Cafe. Yeah. That was a little lower because it doesn't exist anymore, so we're just sad about that. And then my team definitely want to give shout outs to 3E Multimedia. They in here recording. Project Nest Solutions is in the building as well. All right, we got Soul Dope ENT. All right, and the XO Collective. Give it up for my team, my homies, my people. They keep me looking real good. I don't even know what's going on sometimes. They got me looking real good. And of course, I don't want to waste any more time. My innovative and driven friend, our community cousin, Antoinette Wooden. Let's give it up for our guest one time real quick. Ooh. Yeah. All right, so I'll give you a little introduction. She's the founder, owner, and operator of Columbus Archery. All right. Columbus Archery was created to break barriers in a sport that was historically left black and brown communities empty-handed. Columbus Archery is Columbus's first black and queer-owned archery studio. Their goal is to provide a welcoming and empowering space where marginalized people can safely build confidence, develop new skills, and form connections through the sport of archery. So I have so many questions for this today. Y'all about to get them. Antoinette has past experience in operations, data analysis, code writing, really smart stuff, okay? And community building. She's one of the coolest people I know, and I'm so excited to get to know more about you, the person, you know what I mean? Also, we're always in the performance, the leadership development space, so I'm looking forward to getting to know more. But yeah, when we had our conversation about doing this, I was so excited that we had this conversation. So
I literally just ran up to you and was like, can I do it?
And let me tell you something right now. Like, I'm going to tell y'all this because I have in here, like, get consent to say that you did that. Because I didn't know if you wanted to be that kind of role model.
No, I am that role model.
Yes.
Go after it. Just ask. And what's the worst they can say is no problem. I'm going to ask next week because you'll forget.
She made my life so much easier. Y'all don't even realize, like, for people that are going at the pace that I'm going, when she came up to, I was like, yes, I've probably been meaning to connect and reach out to you and talk to you. And then you come up to me and make it easier. I'm going to get Elizabeth on here like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Come on.
My whole thing this whole year has just been to be aggressively brave. And so for me to just ask anyone, everyone, that is just how I've been getting a lot of my contracts. And it's been, 3 weeks and everything. So I'm really excited. And I'm glad you said yes because I miss podcast life.
Yes, giving Katniss energy. We'll take it to the Black Katniss. That's on Black Katniss. All right. So of the things I shared, tell me this is a question I ask folks, but like, what is living inside of you, or what would you want people to know about you in this moment right now that I didn't say?
That I am brave. You know, I've been opening up Columbus Archery for the last 5 years, and I'm just aggressively brave in everything that I do, even to the point where it scares myself sometimes that I'm just a person that is laid back, but I always try to go for what I want. Even if I make mistakes or whatnot, I'm still going to try and still going to do it. So I just want people to know that I'm just like their cousin. She's trying different things. I'm working at different places or whatnot. I have a new gig. You may see me at a festival working someone else's booth because that is just who I am. I love to be out in the community.
I love that. And I have, I was thinking about Janvier, like with Creole to Go. It's like, I was like, send me to do stuff. I will put on my little Creole to Go. Like, I will go drop off food. Like let me help. And I think that's really cool, though. No day is ever the same that way.
No, and I love that. I can't have every day be the same. I don't operate that way. And even though my bipolar would love for me to operate in routine, I'm like, no, I'm going to go ahead and go against the grain. I'm going to have a manic stage every here and there, but I'm going to reground and figure it all out.
I love that. I was actually going to talk about your drive and your energy. And so let's talk a little bit about manic. people don't talk about that. There's a ton of stigma out there around that. And so if you're okay with it, can we talk a little bit about like how that looks for you in terms of energy and your patterns and how you've learned yourself over the last several years and working with it?
Yeah, so I used to have a podcast called the Black and Bipolar Podcast.
Okay.
And it's no longer in commission. But I would talk about my journey as being a black woman with bipolar type 2 with auditory psychosis. And when I would talk about it, I felt like I was kind of just getting a little bit out there. And there were people reaching out saying, oh, my God, I feel like I'm going through this too, or I have that too. So after some time, I had lost my job in an HR position, which was fine. I've never been fired before, and I really let them have it. So I was like, you know what? What are you going to do, fire me again? So then I one day was just sitting on the couch, and I saw a Groupon for archery, and I went, and it changed my life. The doctors had said that the only way to treat psychosis was with medicine, which that is a treatment plan for sure. But then I had discovered archery, and I discovered that I was able to actually do this holistic way of treating, listening to my voices, and just kind of managing them and managing the manic and managing the depression stage that would come. So from there, I kind of put archery and this mental health portion all together and shuttered the Black and Bipolar podcast and just started opening up the Columbus Archery.
Okay, so that makes sense as a transition. So as that supports you, in terms of like, I'm just thinking of, let me see where I want to go here. Okay, so as you're moving into this, obviously you didn't want to do the medication piece, but I've heard a lot of folks talk about like just generally having like a board, like a board in their own head of people who have voices or talking to them, you know what I mean? And what would you say to that person? Maybe like I got a diagnosis with ADHD, but it was like hypercognitive, right? So there's a lot of thought. It's always going. I've been told that I have like I'm a brain with a hat on and a whistle in the morning, and that's like my brain just going crazy, like it's like a little coach.
I'm thinking about the images.
Yeah, because I wake up like I'm ready to go, like 6 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I've been thinking about white supremacy. You know what I mean? Like people be like, hey man, chill out. You know, and so, but I finally got the diagnosis, and that made sense to me. Like that helped, and then trying to soothe those voices, you know what I'm saying, is challenging. So I think that's a more common occurrence or experience than people may be talking about. What would you tell someone?
I mean, one, that it is common, that a lot of us have it, making the difference between the voices in your head and voices that sound like they're right next to you, like the hallucination, and actually going to go get diagnosed. So they set us up with an MRI, and they were able to see that your brain is picking up on like if somebody was talking right next to you and everything. So there is that little bit of difference. So I always recommend people to get diagnosed, and I am pro-medication. However, this is going to help you manage it, because there are people who have it very severe. I've been managing it since I was 15 years old. So, and that entire time I thought I was just like a really bad Christian or a really bad person who didn't like pray enough. So these are demons. And it doesn't help when your family is super religious and demons is always a thing. And you're like, well, are these demons and everything? And I'm like, well, I don't want to tell my mom because I don't want to go through what they're going to like put me through.
They're going to try to do an exorcism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just managing myself and everything. And only one person knew I had it. It was my best friend, my late best friend, Brianna Hardman. And man, it was a journey. It was a journey. But yeah, no, if people are discovering this, I recommend going to go talk to a therapist that they feel safe with, a psychiatrist that they feel safe with, because they'll give you the diagnosis right there.
That's amazing. And I think the diagnosis, what it provides is like that clarity, and you're like, okay, now I have a path. Like I have a name, I have language for it, like I have a path. And archery, was that path for you?
I wish I was so smooth with it when I first discovered it, though, because I wasn't. Because I was like, what? No, I can't be diagnosed. No, I do everything right. What are you talking about? I'm not bipolar. I don't hear these voices, even though I was clearly hearing voices. No, this is all in my head.
Right.
Yeah, but then I got really smooth, and I said, oh, now I have archery, now I'm good and everything.
Right. But it's like they say with, because I have autism as well, and so I got diagnosed with both. So like they say that the autism complex PTSD and bipolar is like the Venn diagram is a circle. You know what I mean?
know.
Like there are a lot of similar characteristics, and I really just wish that we wouldn't, say so much about it negatively, because there are so many people experiencing this. I've experienced it in relationship, like friendship and platonic relationship with other people, and it's just like, hey, like that's normal. Like that's okay. Let's work through this. Let's talk through this.
I have learned that because I'm such a person where, like you, where I'm like, I go, 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 and I have to have the solution for this so that way we can move on. I've learned to sit when in archery, just to sit before reacting to something. And that really helped me not to be able to just always give a solution, sometimes just to listen. Like, a lot of my friends say that you're just a really great listener. And I'm like, perfect, because in my mind, I've given you like 60 different solutions. But perfect.
Good. Like, you're like, do you want advice?
Exactly.
Or do you want me to just hold this space?
Which plan would you like me to implement now for
Right.
us?
Because I have 7 strategies in my head. That's the operations brain. You got 7 strategic plans for them.
Exactly. And when they come and they're like, hey, did you have any advice? What? Yes.
Actually, I did send you Google document and folder.
It was just something light I was doing one night at 3 a.m. Don't worry about it.
A little manic. I'm a helpful friend.
Exactly.
This is hilarious. Okay. So going back to archery and that stillness, I'm imagining, and I'm sure people have, they do have the Katniss and the Hunger Games image, but what I know of archery is that there's so much tension and space and pause and focus. And so what does that do to you in your brain? Like, how does that sort you out nervous system wise?
Well, I mean, I would sort anyone out with just taking a breath and taking a beat into your mind. It's a lot like if you're ever familiar with Tai Chi, how it's a lot of pull and push type of motion. That is with archery as well. You're pulling and you're pushing. A lot of the tensions in your back and in your muscles and even in your core, because you're developing your core by standing there, holding your breath, and then releasing your breath but not releasing the tension in the bow. There's so much correlation between it. But what it does for me is it just resets me. It grounds me. A lot of times I have yoga. We've done like different things like sound baths and everything, and that can set me. But I need the physical movement. I need something physical to be able to actually relax. I know that sounds crazy, but I need something to hold to actually relax me and everything, because now I can put all of that tension into this one object, and that object being the bow itself.
Yeah, definitely feel similarly to weightlifting. Like, and depending on the day, I could write or I could move.
Yeah.
It depends on what energy I kind of need that day.
I wish I could write. I wish I had the skill to write. I write like I talk, so it's all bad.
It's
Grammarly
fine.
is always like, did you mean this? Go ahead and buy the premium.
You have 4,700 corrections you can make.
And I read it, I'm like, that looks right. And it's like, it's not.
I'm reading it. It sounds right to me. It sounds right to
I
me.
need to subscribe to Grammarly.
Meanwhile, my Grammarly's like, you've been doing great.
Mine is like, go ahead and clock out.
Don't clock out.
Go ahead and clock out. You don't know what you're writing about. This is why I can't get no grants.
Just let it go. We need a grant writer. Oh my God. Okay. That is so funny. All right, let's get into it then. Let's go right on. We're just gonna go right on into it then. Speaking of grants, I know this has been a challenging landscape. We've had several conversations about it, and you're in some development programs, hopefully that will be supportive and give you some access to resources and opportunities. But the funding landscape since November has been abysmal. I'm just going to use that word because that feels like the only appropriate word. Talk to me about your brick and mortar adventure and journey, and really how the funding situation and crowdfunding has been.
Yeah, so just to start, I registered Columbus Archery in 2021, and I thought like anybody with their business at first, and anybody who can go through a manic stage, this is going to take off. Everybody wants this.
It's got legs.
This has legs to wear the ground.
Like the little coach legs on the brain. Yeah.
But in 2021, it was really a finding what is going to work in the city and everything. So we did a lot of research. We hired L&E Research to do a survey of the city to see, do people want to do archery? Do people want more experiences? If you did do archery, what type of archery would you do and everything? Because you can do archery in any type of capacity, really. And in 2023, that was our first launch. We launched out of Zora's house, our first campaign in the other house that before this one. And it was a great feeling to see that people really wanted to do experiences and they wanted archery to do just anything else in the city. During that time, I was looking for a place and I was looking for a location, and I had visited 36 spaces down in downtown Columbus.
Wow.
And I know that number, it's just a random number to you all, but like, could you imagine walking into 36 spaces, meeting different brokers, and then them all saying no because they just don't see how this would make money, even though you have a 5-year projection, even though you have proof with your pop-ups and everything, they're like, I don't see it as a yes. And just to bring race into it as well, they were all white men that just own this land that's just standing here.
All of downtown.
And they're just hoarding this land for a restaurant, a bar possibly, and that was it. And I was like, okay, there's a place out there for me. It's just not downtown. No worries. Then I met with Adam Troy. He's a real estate agent in the community, and he showed me the space over in Linden, and immediately we got signed for that space. So it was an amazing step that was in the right direction, and he really helped us kind of get situated in that area with Homeport. After that, we reached out to our bank, and our bank was able to give us the funding, the 150 funding. However, from 2021, now we fast forward to 2025, construction has went up tremendously.
Yeah, we found that out here with Zora's house.
Yes.
With that building, yeah.
It went up tremendously. Permits, zoning, contractors, everything has went up since then. So now I'm like, well, the number I needed before is not the number that I need now. So what can I do? So asking for funding, asking for fundraising and everything, it hasn't been the best for us. And we know that we're reaching out to a community that maybe not have the resources, but even reaching out to grants and reaching out to partners and everything, it hasn't been really working a lot in our favor. It's just been a lot of prove your concept, even though we've proven our concept with our pop-ups and we have data to show for it, because archery isn't new. It's just new in these communities.
Right.
So places like in India, they have all of this research and peer review studies of what archery does for young minds, for older minds, for minds that are riddled with dementia disease and everything, and they show the proof. And I have that proof to show them, and it's been a challenge. The fundraising so far has kind of come to a halt within reason, because right now it is a very, very hot country right now. And I completely understand that. So I would rather people donate to mutual funds for the families that are going around that need that help and support. So I completely understand that. So we've been having pivots, which has been great for us. So now we're doing more community experiences, which are pop-ups around the city. We reached out to a few community centers over on 17th and Parks and Rec and all of that. So going from there, but it's been hard. It's hard as a solo entrepreneur.
Right. And so thinking about, like, with funding, thinking about the grant space, you said it, it's like all the white men, and then we're all fighting for the same dollars, and now more of us are fighting for those dollars. But like in the corporate realm, what as a team building activity or leadership development, I saw a lot about that. So I want to, I'm a I'm assessment junkie. Like I want to know all about the leadership development piece for teams.
Absolutely. So we have our corporate wellness, which is our arrow and yoga. Okay. So we do yoga where we talk about connection, breath, and just taking a pause. And then we do archery right after, where we take those same concepts and those same building blocks that we did in the yoga, and then we apply it to archery real time, just right after each other, so that way you still have that same fundamental changing. Our licensed therapists that work with us, they talk about how basically just pausing in stillness and connection with our elders. We talk about grief management. They talk about these things, about how we can get the tools that we have from that paper that we write it on into using it into real time. Because we're seeing that people have the words. They have the words and the language for, what's going on in the world, but they don't take it from pen to paper and practice it in real time. It could be just too scary to say, like, you hurt my feelings, or, like, this is a really heavy topic. How can we switch this up, or anything like that? And archery is just that vehicle of confidence to just go ahead and take that shot.
I love this. I'm trying to curate experiences in my head at this point. But like, I think a lot of the stillness, folks are not comfortable sitting with themselves, and sitting with themselves in all of their messy humanness, right? And like, everybody's struggling right now, and I was so excited to have this conversation with you, because I know you'll go there, and I know you'll say the things, and I think these are things that we feel lighter when we talk about them. We feel lighter when we have somebody witness us in struggle and challenge, you know what I mean? And then we can also celebrate together, right? Like, when we do get that brick and mortar spot, it's going to be like the communities win. And I think so, but like, I think that goes back to like people not wanting us to be well.
Yeah.
Also.
100%. I have just chalked it up to, they do not want to see Black and brown communities have this type of regulation in their system. And even just further out of that, just they don't want to see people be regulated, because if you're regulated, you can think straight. When you can think straight, you can start seeing like, okay, this system is not built for me, and what can I do to take this down? Because if we just put our dollars back into ourselves, we would see we wouldn't need actually a whole lot of things. I haven't shopped at Target in 3 years.
I'm right there with you.
And it was even before this big blackout of Target, but I haven't shopped there in 3 years. And I'm like, wow, I really started focusing my dollars on small businesses and the community leaders that are trying to make a difference here.
Yeah, my personal thing was to buy tickets to shows, because I think that's been really hard for people to sell tickets to shows. People are buying it on the day that they get their check, you know what I mean? And I appreciate that too, because I produce shows, but I've been trying to buy tickets for joy, like experiences. And so now it's like, okay, like, when's the next pop-up, right? Like, bring your friends. It's like a girls' night.
Right.
Yeah.
But and kind of onto that, sorry, that was a weird transition for me. I was thinking about another thing, and I started talking. But
I let it sit.
For the Aero and Yoga, we're doing a free pop-up over at the Sunset Park, so that way people can experience it. But it's sponsored by just a patron of Columbus, and
Fantastic.
That's appreciated. So you buying tickets, it really just means a lot to small businesses and people who just don't have it yet, and everything.
And if I'm not going to be in town or something like that, I definitely try to buy the tickets and like let them raffle them off, or let them, and even when I have my ticket sales, I think this is a way that, like, when people are like, where's the local organizing, like, what can you do? I also will say, if somebody can't come and wants to buy a ticket and bless somebody else, like, do that too. And so that keeps it going, and that keeps a lot of energy around it. Actually, people get excited about being able to pay for somebody's ticket. They want to come, but they can't come, but they can still buy somebody else's ticket. And people get excited about that.
Yeah, I love seeing how excited the community gets together when there's just like a little art event, or there's like a comedy event, or even just a festival. You see how people like just shovel out to festivals, even the WOCO festival, just people coming out just to buy and support local art and local just Black women or women of color. That gets me going, because I'm like, there is a need in this community for community and just gatherness and just togetherness. Like, I'm just, in Columbus Archery, I'm just trying to teach the collectiveness that we just need to just remind ourselves that we're not alone in this journey, and to get away from this individualism.
I'm going to let that sit for a second, because that was it. That was a word. Well, let's move into some more identities. And so I know that you are also, you said first, Black and queer owned. So let's talk about, we haven't even brought in the queer aspect of it. We're 30, 40 minutes in. And we have a queer aspect of it. So let's talk about the challenges you face. I always say, I'm gender fluid, I'm queer, but a black woman first, always a black woman first. And so tell me a little bit about your experience, and you can go as far as you want to go, as deep as you want to go on intersectionality and which identities you show up with and how you figure that out and how you discern when one is safe,
Well, I would say that being a district manager for a minute really taught me to just adapt in whatever room that I'm in. And because I am a black queer woman, they see black woman first and then they find out probably queer later because it doesn't look like the norm queer or whatnot. It's different to navigate. I don't think I've had a lot of issues with my queerness as much as just being the black woman in the room when there's always just a whole bunch of white faces or just a whole bunch of men. I've been in commercial real estate, and that is definitely the complete opposite of
so
who
much.
I am.
I used to work in construction.
I learned football for them. And
golf. It was golf for me. Yeah.
And anytime somebody tries to get me into golf, I'm like, but why? But why? When there's putt-putt, why golf?
There is putt-putt.
Why golf when there's putt-putt?
What I know about myself now, because when I was a college basketball coach, I also was a golfer. I actually worked at our little golf course in Pennsylvania for a summer. But, I liked it to focus. But right around hole 6, 7, if we were doing, pairs and stuff, I'm gone. I'm bored. I was a basketball player, soccer player. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. And I probably have some partner I didn't choose. Some Bob or Bill, It's just, and they're all drinking beer all day, and I'm just like, it's hot. This is weird. Why is the beer? Can I have a Coca-Cola?
I play volleyball, and I'm very competitive. Golf is not competitive to me.
Golf is not competitive?
No.
Hey, you could tell them that it's not.
No, it's too quiet. It's too quiet. I'm like, we need to be rumped up. What are we? He's about to shoot across the yard. We need to amp him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The golf cart across the yard. Hundreds of feet.
Exactly. That's something to really pump up. That's amazing. I would be upset if I was in an archery competition and I shoot over 100-yard shot and nobody clapped and it's quiet. No.
Is it like tennis? Is it with archery? Is it like tennis?
Yeah, the first shot is like tennis.
So are we quiet? We're like, shh.
It's quiet when you first shoot.
Okay.
But then after that, everybody is ramped up and everything. Because it's you're shooting something. Be excited. No, I don't like those people. I can't trust
I have so much to learn. And, I love a good moment when I don't know about something. So this is so great.
Archery competitions, they are ramped because they want to see that little arrow hit that little thing. And when it does, they're like, what, again?
I'm going to be totally, childish in these questions I'm going to ask. You said we need to go? We got to go do archery. I have so many questions. Because in my head, the only time there's archery, events are, Olympics and then, at those medieval places where they do the, Renaissance things and they got the turkey leg.
And you see them all hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all hyped up because they're shooting from across the yard. You're shooting a weapon. Yeah, let's go. No, yeah. Golf could never.
Golf
wishes it was archery.
This is the best conversation ever. And so, talking about queerness, and here's what I will say, and I'm just, I've kind of been sick of not saying some stuff. So here's what I'm gonna say: queer people are the funniest people. Queer black women are the funniest freaking people I've ever experienced and met in my life. We can just riff off of each other forever. But those experiences, that sounds awesome. I gotta go. I've been to Renfest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I dated some white women.
We're so funny because we have all the trauma behind
We do have all the trauma, and we have all these experiences. There are so many experiences where we're the only, right? You have Heather McGee wrote a book where she was the only black woman, and they're making literally laws against black people. And they don't think that we're there or listening. I don't know what it is, but they don't think that we're there listening. So we've had all these experiences, and then people don't, they don't listen to us. But at the end of the day, We're hilarious.
I've been challenged by a white man who was showing me a location, and he says, so, like, what do you have? Do you have, like, your archer certificate? Mind you, I'm, like, a level 3 archer, which means
I got to ask about this, though.
which means it's, like, the highest of archery that you can do.
Oh.
Level 4 is, like, an Olympic.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
so
snap.
I'm, like, right below Olympic.
Come on.
So I can coach it, judge it. That's why I'm opening up Columbus Archery. And he said,
What?
well, what do you have, like a certificate or something like that? I was like, for what? And he was like, I mean, like, you do archery. Like, do you have a certificate or anything like that? And I said, do you? Like, do you know do you know the levels of archery? He was like, no, I'm just curious. And I said, okay, well, I'm a level 3 archer and everything like that. And he said, oh, okay. Like, is there proof that you can show that or something like that? And I'm like,
No.
no, there's
How
not
about you
proof.
stand in front of this target
And like I was like,
and you tell me how much you trust my delivery?
Exactly. Like let's grab an apple. Let's figure it out together.
Put it on your head, my friend.
Exactly. Long story short, I didn't get that space, but
They be saying some crazy. What else crazy have they been saying to you?
man, it's really just been what are how are we going to make money off of this and
Right.
everything? You need to make more money off of this. And mind you, I have 5-year projections for when we open to just when we can just be like in the positive and everything like that, into expanding as well. And I show them the projections. They're like, well, we just don't see it. And then I show them the proof that we have, like with our research and our surveys. And they're like, well, I just don't understand. Why aren't you charging more? And I said, well, it's not about how much money I can make. This is about bringing it to the community.
Accessibility, yeah.
Yes, and our whole mission is to make archery accessible for this community, so that way people who may not think about therapy, or they may be scared to even enter in that realm of like, how can I talk about these big feelings? I don't even know what I'm feeling. We just introduce it to them in a very low stakes environment where you can learn archery and also just learn the language from a licensed therapist that teaches about these things. So grieving, like our elder community, they talk a lot about the grief aspect, because they've lost jobs, they've lost their family, they've lost friends, you know, there's a lot of loss for them, but they don't know how to get those feelings out. They don't even know what these feelings are.
Right.
And they have a lot of stories to tell. And they have a lot of advocacy for themselves that they're just not getting out there. So that is what we're teaching them. And that has just kind of been the hard part of just selling that to the banks, and like understanding that it's not about the money, it's about the people. We make money from this, but it doesn't have to be a gross amount of money. I don't even know what to do with a gross amount of money.
Right.
And I don't need a gross amount of money. I just need that I need people to see that they can heal themselves in a different way. This is a different way to look at it. And there's language out there. There's language out there for everything, and language is ever expanding. So I don't want them to feel like they're just alone in this journey.
Yeah. And I mean, that's really where the ally piece comes in. You know, you've said you've done commercial real estate, so you know all my sales guys were, when I worked with a construction company, all my sales guys were white men. Right, and they're on the disc. They're high I's, right? Like they're not high C's. They're high I's. So they're not getting my paperwork to me like I need it to be to me. But they're selling, and I got to a point where I could have banter with them, and I think the autism actually helps with that, because I can separate some things. But like I used to have a lot of banter with them, to the point where I would like call them and be like, you know, send me your credit card number. Like I got to do this, or I need to do this supplementing. But I was like, oh, that's probably because they don't have anything to worry about. Like, they could just be funny and witty and assholes, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, because they're just nothing to worry about. Like, just nothing to worry about. So when you've talked to other folks, you were going to build a place, right? Like, you were going to have it built?
The place is a build out.
Okay.
So the place is already there. It would be like this if this was completely empty.
Okay.
There's no floor in that place. It's just gravel. It's crazy. I didn't even know that they could lease a place like that. Insane.
Right. Okay, so we've got the pivots. What is the pivot going to be? More towards the corporate wellness, or like more pop-ups?
More pop-ups, so that way we can collect the data that's needed. We have the Your Target Community Workshop coming up, and that is a little piece of what our adult wellness archery is like. So that way people are understanding how to build your community, and what does it look like when one of your arrows flies off to the left here. So just real quick, in archery, when you're trying to get your perfect set and how you're standing and how you're shooting and everything, you set off 5 arrows. And those 5 arrows, if they all land on the target, if you can go around all arrows and you can make like this little circle, that means you have a perfect grouping. You have a wonderful grouping. It doesn't matter if it hit on the center or all the way over here to the left. If they're doing this, that means you have a perfect grouping. And just like people, we have smaller communities where it's like we have those 5, maybe 3 people that we can just do this around. But what happens when one of those arrows, when they just fall off the target or they go over or you're just not aligned anymore? So we talk about that in the workshop and how we can just be okay with this is just a season. That's just an arrow, and it keeps on going because you have other arrows that are ready to take that spot.
That just made my heart like tender. It's like, yeah, some things are just a season.
It's just a season. It's just one arrow.
Oh, no, grief. How fun. So, okay, we'll it's not a easier question necessarily, but we'll change a little bit. So, you have this, you're a solopreneur, you are out here hitting the pavement, talking to people, going to see buildings, creating pop-ups. I don't know if you have a membership, do you have a membership, or?
So we paused the membership. People were buying the membership, which was great, but we have no building for them. So we told them that we have no building for you. So you're buying this membership. Thank you. It lets me know that you want this and everything. And they said, we'll just use that as a donation. And I said, okay, bet, no problem. Now I have some bows. But we do have a membership for when we are open. The membership doesn't translate into the pop-up, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with charging the membership and then people coming to pop-ups that are already sponsored. So I'm trying to get more sponsors. Yeah.
Oh, more sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. Look at the
Yes, Molina Health. Yes, Cardinal Health.
Mount Carmel.
The city of Columbus. Y'all got dollars.
Y'all heard it right here, okay? Do y'all want us well or not? Okay, anyway. No, I'm coming to do some archery. So when you have, so you're a solopreneur, we're talking about how busy you are and sometimes manic phases and moments. What does that look like with your relationships, we'll talk about the extra stuff and, what you like to do for fun. But, how does that work with your timing, your relationships? You do a lot outside of this, too. So how do you manage that?
Being an entrepreneur is very lonely. You're not alone because you have, your group of support, but it's a very lonely experience that very few people kind of understand, especially when it's a unique situation. You could talk about it all day until you're blue in the face, but, you only get so many, damn, that sucks, so many times before you're just like...
It really, really sucks.
It does really suck. It was to the point where I just felt like, man, when is it going to be enough? I was talking to my grandma about this, and I was saying, I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to do anything. And she would love if I just went back to corporate. So, she wasn't the best person to talk to about this, but she said, well, when is it going to be enough? What no is going to stop you from, keep on going and everything? And I just remember thinking, man, she's an op. My grandma really don't got my back at all.
Not grandma.
She really don't got my back at all.
Not grandma's a plant.
Yes. I'm just do you work for, every bank? I've been trying to get
What's your personal credit score?
I know, right? Have you thought about going back to work?
Man.
But in all seriousness.
That's what they be saying.
I know.
They want us to be okay.
They do.
But
I love my grandma so
job.
much, but, she is an op sometimes. And I'm
They get the good government job, get your little retirement, go on 2 vacations a year, have 0.5 kids.
A person who's been retired for 10 years is telling me to go back to work. And I'm like,
you just got out of there, man.
I know. So anyway, on a serious note, I did hear what she said. And I said, when is the no going to be and everything? And I said, I don't think that there is a no because my vision, it is fluctuating all the time with this. And I'm able to pivot without breaking down, that I think I can keep on going until it opens up the way it needs to open up. Even if I lose this location that I have right now and I open up in the back of a warehouse, I will open up Columbus Archery. And it is for someone. I don't know who is supposed to go through and get the confidence that they need to be the leader of around Columbus, but it is for someone.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And honestly, even if it's for you to start, that's fine too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's fine too. I do polarity, and it saved me. And if it don't save nobody else, it saved me. But I know there's some people in this room that have benefited from it too. But nevertheless, yeah, I just think that. So talk about your faith a little bit. We talked about spirituality, so talk about your faith before this. Y'all didn't hear that conversation. But like, yeah, right. So spirituality, faith, how does that play into the conversation?
Yeah, so I'm a very spiritual person. I practice hoodoo and conjuring and spell casting. So I really take to heart when you manifest the things that you say you're going to do. Those things are going to happen. When you've been given a vision, that is going to happen, because the vision could have been given to anyone else, but it was shown to you. And I'm a very act on when I see it. So which is why this year of being aggressively brave was not scary concept to me, because I just kept getting in my own way or letting outside people tell me, oh, well, maybe that's not like the right way to approach this person. I don't care. In this climate and everything, I don't care, because there are ancestors before me. Velma Williams, she was my great-great-grandma who played hands, and everything that she did because she had the courage to do it. And I really feel like a part of her is in me, because everything that I do is just so out of the norm, out of my family. And she did so many things out of the norm. She was working 3 jobs. She was raising 3 kids, and all of that while still being like the household woman and everything. I don't want to be a household woman, but she was doing it.
That's a whole job, though.
It is a whole
It's
job.
a whole job.
That's why I don't want to do it. So, like, I like cooking,
Correct.
but I don't like cooking a lot.
Yes.
So, like, if somebody's like, do you want outside food? Absolutely.
Yes, every time.
Absolutely. Outside food, 100%.
10 out of 10 times.
But, yeah, so I feel like my faith has carried me in this business a lot. When I could have just broken down and just been like, you know what? F it. Nobody wants this. Nobody's supporting. The fundraiser's not going. F it. But it does make me happy. I love watching people light up when they do hit that target again. And they're like, it hit again. I'm like, I know. And then
You're aligned. You're lined up. Right?
And they're like, it did the thing that you said it was going to do. I was like, crazy.
I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Oh my God, I'm a level 3 archer.
Right.
Why am I being
Get tattooed on your forehead. Shit.
Exactly. No, because I may make it up to level 4, and I may be Olympic.
Right. Well, then you could like cross it out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I look like Post Malone after this.
Right here. Maybe. Okay. Maybe on your arm.
But
it's
no, my faith has
Roman numbers. Roman numerals. Yes. That's funny.
I'd rather not.
It's rowdy in here, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I'm not sure what it was. It could be donut holes that fell. It could be a fight outside. I don't know. It could be snowballs. Who knows?
Oh my God.
Who knows? But I've heard the thing about when you're talking about like, oh, it did that thing I did, but with the vision, I've heard, and this really resonates with me, is that in another life there's someone, a version of you doing that thing, like that thing that you can see. You can't really dream it up or vision it up if it doesn't exist somewhere, or if it doesn't exist for you. And so that's a word to everybody really around that. And I know there's been a lot of conversation recently around Christianity and hoodoo and spirituality, and people, like, as we try to organize and as a community come together, there are people that have faith in Christianity or religion, and then there are spiritualists. And so like that conversation is becoming important because everything is not demonic. And so, I was raised in a Pentecostal church. My dad was a minister.
Sorry, my face was incorrect. I'm so sorry. My face was incorrect.
No, you can totally judge it. You can totally judge it. I mean, I have comedy routines about this, okay? And then I look in the crowd, and as long as it's some geriatric millennials in there with me, like, we all laughing. But the young ones really think I'm hurt. Like, they check on me. You know what I'm saying? They be like, are you okay? I'm like, y'all, it's okay to laugh. Like, I'm here still. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to laugh. That rapture drill was crazy in Zanesville, but, you know, it's a great story. Might make me famous. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it would pay it off. I'm gonna count the coins. Like, pay it off then. Shoot, it's like a scholarship, trauma scholarship. Yeah, but like, I think the thing that was really cool about my dad, he passed away a couple years ago, but the thing that was really cool about my dad is he was a theologian. And so at any point, if it was about religion or theology, he would lean on the theology. And I respected that about him. We had so many cool conversations before any of this, you know, like, I mean, 1948 was the original Palestine-Israel conversation. Angela Davis and them, you know, they've been on this for a minute, since the 70s. But, like, we were talking about that, me and him, before, you know, the genocide in Palestine began. So, like, I don't know. Like, it was a good experience, but then it's also, like, I have all these voices. I think some of them are, like, stop whistling, because they said ladies don't whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was weird stuff. Like, I'm just a happy kid, like, walking up the stairs. And you're like, what? There's just some miserable people in church. I'm going to tell you that right now.
There are some miserable people out there that will look to steal your joy. I remember when I was younger, and we went to a church, and it was a non-denominational church. And I don't know why, but Spirit spoke to me, and I started raising my hands and started praising the Lord with them all. Like, I'm like, they're running up and down the thing. I'm just praising right here. And I went to the bathroom, and I remember my stepfather, he came and was like, you don't need to be doing all that. And I was like, doing what? And he was like, just doing that and everything, just sit in the kid's place and everything. And that sat with me so much. He is an op, and I'm not taking that back. He is an op.
Looks in camera.
And I'll never take that back. But I just remember, like, there are people that are real killjoys. Like, they just want to see you in the same position that they are in. And which is why I know that, just bringing it back, that Columbus Archery is for me. There have been so many no's. I mean, after 36 no's, that would lead anybody to insanity. And being like, absolutely not, I'm not going to do this. Yeah. But I said, you know what? No, you don't stop what brings you joy. And this is going to bring so many people joy.
Joy and healing. I love that. I love it. A little walk down church lane. But I think it does all come back to, and, you know, the mission for Culture of You and KUA Consulting is to create heaven on earth, one experience at a time. And I think this contributes to that, right? Like, what are the ways that we can get together and with those people that aren't miserable, because we have miserable people running our country. We have miserable people leading organizations. And I don't think even people realize, like, I'm miserable and I can change that. Like, you don't have to stay that way. We have, like, I mean, I really checked myself about it, because I was like, I have all these ways I could think, and here I am thinking terrible thoughts. Like, I have all these ways I can think, like, let me correct that. You know, let me correct that. And so, and it was typically, you know, critical of myself, but that's how they've taught us to be. But I want to see more of those communal events that are like, we're putting this stuff down, and we're just in community, and we're in connection, and we all want either rest, connection, or joy. You know what I mean? Whatever that looks like, healing, rest, connection, joy. If it has any of those things in there, we were just talking about the NAP concert, like, right? Like, if it has any of those things in there, how can we have the most experiences we can have? Because otherwise, I'm not leaving a house. Yeah. It's crazy out here right now.
It's so crazy, and too cold.
Yeah, that's true.
Too cold to be miserable.
It is too
and
cold.
Out in a place that
we're in
people
January.
Don't want you at. But,
right.
But just to kind of get back to the relationships portion of it, so I'm poly, and I had multiple partners while trying to open up Columbus Archery at one time.
Polyamorous, folks. Sorry. Y'all be doing that polygamy stuff. I'm just telling you right now, it's polyamory. Okay, carry on. You know that bothers me. Like, how you gonna criticize it? You don't even know what the word is. I'm just so tired of
I'm here
this.
for it. Thank you so much. I'm here for it.
He's so sick of it.
I am sick of it as well, so I feel
Right,
it.
like
Thank
you
so
got a lot
much.
to say about something you have no idea how to pronounce.
It's crazy. It is crazy. And it's
Sorry.
always people that look like they snuck on the earth that have the most to say. Like, did you sneak here? Are you supposed to be here?
You're an alien.
No.
Or not.
No.
Where'd you come from?
But I was noticing that with that, that's also a lot of time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was noticing that I wasn't giving my relationships the respect that they deserved.
Yeah.
And the energy they deserve, because I was like, I'm one-track mind focused. So really leaning into that rest portion. There is a book out there called Pause, Rest, Be by last name Activia Rahim. It's a great book about, it's not about relationships. It's honestly just about juggling everything that we do as people and how we can just make time for those things and how rest and pausing and just being in the moment. That I was with one partner and my head was 1,001 places and it wasn't where it needed to be. And then I would be with another partner and I would be like, oh man, I didn't spend no time with them. Like at all. I don't even think we talked about anything. But as I started getting more and more acclimated into Columbus Archery, I said, you know what, I really just need to focus on myself right now, and I need to figure out how to show up for you all, and everything. But I think in relationships, especially when it comes to business, it's always going to be fluctuating. It's fluid, even with friendships. Like, even with friendships, it's fluid because, you know, somebody could be doing something great with their life right now, and they don't have time for you. But it also comes into, am I willing to make the sacrifice to keep on showing up for them? And that is what the collectiveness in the community, not to burn out and everything, and not to be like, you know, down and out, but to show up for people, to show them that you still care and appreciate and you still love them, type of things.
We owe each other that. And I think, you know, we've gotten really hyper individualistic and people will say we don't owe each other that, but we do. I think we do owe each other care, communication, healthy communication, hopefully, grounded communication, ideally. But I mean, I definitely resonate with you because, you know, I live by myself, you know what I mean? And you be in relationships, but like I have to have that restorative time, and I have all these things, and I'm like, I really got to curate, you know, I got to curate, and I got to do this, and so sometimes it's like I can't show up, and and I'm gonna choose this. Like this is the last 2 years is the first time I've really chosen myself. You know what I mean? And so it was like I was always doing for everybody else, but I always had, you know, the solid job. Like I did the consistent work thing. I mean, I still do a little bit of that now.
My
but
grandma
like,
would love you.
I always had like 2 jobs. I'm so I look back, I was like, how was I in the club? Like I was bartending. I was going to, I remember it was like around 2016, and nobody will ever, I mean, they'll know it now, but like I would go to work 8 to 5, and then I go referee a game or two, and then I would go bartend Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, of course, I was bartending. We were that was when the old Wall Street was. Wall Street before Forum. Yeah, like I was there the last year. I was like an assistant manager the last year before they closed it down. But I have no, like I'm at my house at like, ooh, it's 8:55. I'm about to lay down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just such a different time.
It is a different time. It really is.
So different.
The way that we look at, like, even just cleanliness and everything. Like, I used to go bowling a lot. My family are bowlers. I don't know why. That's their calling. They love bowling. I don't like bowling. But I just remember watching my granddad palm a ball, roll it down, pick up nachos, eat, and be done. And then, like, go again. And I'm like, no, we couldn't do that now. We shouldn't. He shouldn't have done that back then.
I mean, they had them iron stomachs, man. Like
He's
the immune systems were jumping back then.
He's like 93, still doing that stuff, and I'm like, bro, like you can't keep eating nachos from this bowling alley. You can't
this
keep doing
cheesy
it.
stuff in the bottom of a gallon goopy can. I used to work in a little sports thing in Cincinnati. It was in Mason. It wasn't, Cincinnati, but it was like Mason. It was the suburbs. But like we had that cheese and the little hot dogs. No, like it was still gross. Like I hated that. I had to clean out the little hot dog machine.
Oh Oh God.
I was like, Mom, what am I supposed to learn right now? I'm playing 3 sports. Like, I'm an honor student. Like, why do I need to have this job? It was my basketball coach's, like, company. Like, and I was just like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't know. I worked at Champs. I sold shoes. You know, I used to love that, though. I like that discount.
I used to work at a lot of restaurants. I was a restaurant. My first job at 14, don't know if it was legal, but I definitely was, I worked at this place called Nibble's Corner Cafe in Nationwide, insurance building, not the arena, but the insurance building. And everybody knew me there because, like, my mom, she worked in the state building right next door. They're like, oh, you're Lonnie's kid. You're Lonnie's kid. I was like, my name is actually Antoinette.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You said I'm actually my own individual person.
I'm my own individual person. And I didn't realize how cringe that was. But I was 14, so people were like, oh, that's so cute. Now if I say that, they're like, bitch.
Who do you think you are, right? Oh, gotta get her in her place. That's what they be saying in their head. I already know it.
Exactly.
They'd be like.
But I used to eat their bagels every single day. That's probably why I got high cholesterol. But every single day I would eat them bagels. But no, we do what we love.
Yeah, absolutely. So to that, what do you love to do? Travel in your downtime?
In my downtime, I actually like to play video games. So I stream on Twitch.
Oh, do you? I'm so not hip to. It's a whole different world.
So
I have StreamYard. I just never made it to actually streaming.
So my Twitch account is Community Cousin, and I talk about basically just political things while I'm being chased by a killer.
Hold on. How does this work?
How do you mean? Oh, so I grab the video game, I turn it on, and then I play it.
And then you're talking about political stuff?
Exactly.
Like, this is so fascist of this video game.
No, so I'll play a game like Dead by Daylight, and it's a collective game where you play online with 3 other players, and then there's a killer, and you have to survive the killer. And it's a really old game, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it's one of the biggest collective games right now that they're playing. And I'll just get on there, and I'll just talk about the political climate. I'll talk about a organization, and while trying to survive a killer, so there'll be like jump scares and everything.
Oh.
So people are like, what the hell? What is she talking about?
That is such an interesting choice in this world right now. You choose to do that.
That's what I can do right now.
You know what? That's all right. Because now you're ready, though. Like, you have an advantage because, like, you've been preparing for this.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm always ready. I'm always ready to debate. Always.
Y'all heard it here. I don't know if you want to go toe-to-toe with her.
You can.
You can.
But
That's so cool. That's so cool to know that. I have one other friend who, like, went to some Twitch, like, award show, and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know all this existed. It's a thing. It's a thing.
People get paid to play some big games, and the game I was talking about, they get paid, like, hundreds of thousands just to beat that game.
What?
I'm not that good. You would think I have so many hours on that game.
Like level 1, level 2?
I mean, I'm a level...
I'm kidding.
So...
About to answer it?
I'm a level 23 on the game.
Okay.
Which is kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
But I play like I'm a level 1.
Fair.
So,
humble.
Yes, very humble. I have the experience of level 23, but I play like I'm a level 1.
I like that.
Yeah.
Stay young. Stay youthful, my friend. Keep learning. All right, so I have like one more question, and then we'll take a couple questions from the audience. But, you know, let's see, what question do I want to... What's your biggest political... I'm going to ask 2 questions. What's your biggest political talking point right now when you're doing this game?
If you have a Ring camera, then you're an op. And I will not expand on that because Oracle is the devil, and they should be stopped.
You're right. Mm-hmm. And that was what they were going to put in the Intel...
Yes.
Yes. That was what Intel was coming here for, so we could have the same software as Israel.
100%. And I also have a link for non-op-ish ring light cameras, so that way you can still be safe and still not contribute to the mass like information dump that they are doing right now.
We will not be expanding any further. All right, so let's take this question here. Anna, hi.
Thank you Is it better? Okay. Like right up in it? Okay. So I have a few questions, if that's okay. But I also did want to mention when you were talking about your idea of like the medieval and like the turkey leg, I thought the vibe and the energy would be like the Knight's Tale from the Knight's Tale.
Oh my God, yes.
Right? Where they're all, hey,
Yep.
we will.
100%.
Yes.
That's what
That is all archery
Ideal.
competitions.
Yes, okay.
100%.
Okay.
So that's what I have in my head now. So we do definitely need a group outing. Yes.
Indeed.
And then I also made a note. You were talking about killjoys, and that's a big one for me too. And I use "Don't Yuck My Yum."
I love
When I'm excited about something, I'm telling something about something, and they're like, "Ugh, really? Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that." Yes. Okay. Questions. So you talked about routine, and as someone with bipolar, that a routine would be really, really helpful, but we don't have one. You don't have one. How do you create some semblance of a routine without the routine?
So I do time blocking. For myself, I need Monday to be admin day, Tuesday to be reach out day, Wednesday where you're at day, so that's my reach out follow up. And then Thursday is my grant writing day. Friday is my on the ground networking day. Saturday is my house clean. Sunday is my getting set for the rest of the week and everything. It's very structured that way. That is my routine.
What happens when you get thrown off a little bit?
So if, let's say, Monday needs to go to Thursday, that's fine, because that means Friday you're still going to do the same thing. So they can just like kind of like overlap with each other. I like a routine that says that you can move this however you want because I'm in control of this life and everything, and I'm not going to be stuck doing the same things, trying to grind. I'm not going to hate what I do and everything. So I have to be able to be flexible, like, okay, admin day maybe needs to move to Sunday instead. Or if I don't feel like doing anything because I get really bad cramps, I'm like,
First day should be out for it.
100%.
Just curl up.
100%. So that is a day where I'm just like, I'm just going to chill. But I do shut it off like around maybe 6 p.m. and everything, and then that's when I get on my Twitch and stream.
Or go to like, a leadership development
Or a
something,
leadership
or like some
development.
Zoom.
100%, yes,
Yeah.
100%. A leadership development or Zoom, I'm always there,
Yep.
but in the background, there's always something happening in the background. Is that a problem? Probably, but it's not going to be fixed today.
Right.
The thought I had in my head when you said you're playing and you're talking about political things or things that matter to you, and then there's like jump scares. I had this thought of like, and then the white man who, oh shit,
Pretty
That's how
much.
that goes.
That has happened. I've talked about Christine Nome and the
Yeah.
little dictator that just got demoted and everything. And
He's gone. He's fired.
I saw.
Wait, that was her little cheater guy, wasn't it? He was sent.
Oh, he was.
Oh,
Oh, that's a,
man, what a demotion. What a demotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So he's been demoted, and we talked about him. And during that time, I was being chased by Michael Myers, so it was perfect. It was a perfect conversation.
Slow. Just creepy.
He's fast in the game.
Oh, that's new.
He's like a walk fast.
I'm gonna be watching it. No, for real, because who needs to scroll? I need things to fill up time. I mean, I probably need to read these books, but fill up
So
time.
many books.
Right, I have so many. I'm just a book collector at this point. 'Cause
that fast Michael Myers. I want to do a fast Michael. That's like the fast zombies.
It is. It's very unsettling, and
Yeah.
and I love horror. So this was like the perfect thing because I was like, what do I want to talk about? I don't want to talk about the game. Everybody's already talking about the game. I want
That's
to
so
just
cool.
talk about things that matter to me and everything.
That's cool.
That was it.
How many followers?
I only have 10.
I'm gonna go ahead myself. I'm gonna go ahead myself. You about to have 11, girl.
I don't. I have 10 followers. I don't advertise it at all. Like it literally.
It sounds
is
like
just
my kind of
very-
party for real. Like
It
my
really
kind of
is.
conversation.
It's not something that I want to like. I don't want people to expect me to be on and everything. Like, because some of these Twitchers, they're like on all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want you to expect me to ever be on. I want you to know it's very organic. It's when I have time. It's when I have nachos. It's like,
No niche. Right. When I have nachos.
Yes. I love nachos.
Love nachos.
They didn't traumatize you?
Right. I just need a bowling ball.
Good. Okay, I'm going to take it a different route here, if that's okay. Yeah, we're going. Okay. You talked about, again, bipolar while building a business. How has entrepreneurship challenged or maybe reshaped the way that you define stability, success, and self-care?
Thank you for that question. It's changed a lot. Because at first I thought that healing with bipolar, like when I first was diagnosed, I was trying to push it down. I was trying not to talk about it, be about it, or anything like that. I was ashamed of it. And then as I started to grow and I did the Black and Bipolar podcast, I started being more proud of it because it's just another part of who I am. And then when I was evolving into Columbus Archery, I just said, you know what, my experiences, my real experiences, and how it felt lonely to be diagnosed, how you didn't know what therapy session to be in and everything. I just wanted it to translate to you don't have to be alone on this journey. And if you do discover something while you're doing archery, wonderful. But it just shaped the way I looked at self-care because no one in my family was talking about these things. It was take it to the altar or don't take it to me type of stuff. So, I wanted a different way to look at it.
That's beautiful. I love that. Do I have time for one more? Do I have time? No? Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much.
Okay. So, y'all, we be getting into it in here. I'm just telling you, make your way. And we got some new season announcements that I'll give you in a second.
Nice.
But what's next? What are you aiming towards next? You see what I did there? Okay. All right, so what are you aiming towards next? And where can people find you or find your pop-ups? Like, where do they need to go?
Yeah, so follow me on all socials at Columbus Archery. And then for our website, it is columbusarchery614.com. You can find all of our events there. I'm pretty active on social media. Shout out to Sky Neal Consulting for helping me develop our social media strategy.
They did mine too.
Look at that. So they're everywhere, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we are looking for our first pop-up in Sunset Park. Details to be followed in March. As long as the snow is gone, we will be out there.
All right.
But yeah, no, we're always doing something. I'm doing I'm doing a facilitation at Custom Dip Custom Paints. Oh my God, print. Sorry, where we are talking about how Black people have shown up in different horror movies and how we have shaped movie culture.
I love it. This
Do
is so
everything.
Cool. Yes, I'm not a big horror person, but I'm like, I know a bunch of people are.
It's Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
It's like the least horror of horror movies, but it does qualify for a horror movie.
Definitely. Awesome. You've been an amazing guest. Thank you so
Thank you so much
for making this happen. You're amazing. And y'all get hip to archery. We going to go arch. We got a whole crew. We about to have some. I got some visions that I gotta fulfill. So we're gonna have some entrepreneur circle activities.
I love it. Golf could never.
But I will say I do like a group experience at what's the one the golf, like where you just Top Golf. Yeah, like I do love a good little corporate experience there.
That's not traditional golf though.
No, it's more like
putt-putt.
Driving
Extreme.
range practice and extreme. Yeah,
exactly.
Driving
Putt-putt
range.
Extreme.
I've seen people fall off of those. Like it's dangerous, like off them, because they drinking.
Again, a dangerous sport. Archery would never do that to you. We would never drop you off a ledge.
We generally have different. I mean, people can on the outings drink if they want to, but we generally do different types of activities and substances that would slow us down a little bit. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for joining us today. Whatever day that is that you're listening, we will be back here February 27th. I think that's a Friday. Yeah, we'll be back here February 27th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have Rhiannon with our Ohio Women's Alliance. We have Jamila Pitts, who does a lot of healing work. So that's going to be a really, really good conversation. Probably reminds me of the Replenish conversation that you all should go back and check out too. But we'll be back here at Zora's House. We're recording season 4 here. So let's give it up for Zora's House. Season 4, we've been doing some really cool healing and community work. But we will start in June, the 4th week in June, that Thursday. We're going to be here 6 to 8. So we're moving it to an evening time because we were originally here for the Purple Door podcast because we were going to the Purple Door. But now we will be here and we'll have different initiatives, links you can give to and donate to when you come here. But we're going to have some more healing good times in June. So thank you for your support, and go hit up Columbus Archery. You really should.
Boop, thank you.
Peace.